Hey there everyone, this is Phantom Games, and I know this is going to probably bother people because I think that, there's somebody out there who desperately wants us to have a generations-based pack, and the thing is, you're not seeing things for what they are. Personally, I think Generations as a pack is kind of a scam because it's charging you for things that should already be in the game. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, a lot of the things that are in The Sims 4 should just be in the game by default, like weather or something like that. They're like, hey, most games offer you weather? Well, The Sims 4, you have to pay for it. And all the other games, you had to pay for it prior. Yeah, I get that. It's kind of silly to have to pay for that. But specific things that were in Generations, I think could easily be put into the base game. And it seems kind of silly to pay for something that is... Oh, I just hit my mic stand. Oh god, that got me off track. But yeah, I think it's silly to have to pay for something that should just be in the game. And a lot of people are like, oh, what do you mean? Okay, so what do you think would be in a Generations pack? Do you think that by default a memory system should be in the game? Yeah, totally, I would think that would be something that should be in the game. So why the hell would you spend money on something that should by default be in the game? Also, they added this whole thing with personality, and they're continuously adding onto the game, giving it more depth. So why should we have to pay for something to be added into the game that they're doing by default in base game updates? So yeah, a memory system should be in the base game. Adding more life cycles should be in the base game. Why would you spend extra money? This is something that also happened in, prior games, where you had to pay for additional life cycles. For a good example, in The Sims 2, they got young adults. Young adults were added in Sims 2 University. And I think to myself, wow, this first Sims game, I didn't remember this right away. I do recall that there were some things missing here and there in the first one, but I didn't remember that young adults didn't happen till The Sims 2. So, in The Sims 2 University, it's young adults are a new life cycle? But yeah, we got a new life cycle technically in The Sims 4, but it wasn't really because it was in the prior game. We got toddlers, which it's that shouldn't count as a life cycle that was added into the game because it should have been in the game by default. So, what should we add to the game? I don't know. Maybe make the teens look more like teens. Maybe add preteens. Because, a lot of people are saying that's something they want to see with a Generations pack. They want to see preteens. But, personally, I think, why do we need a Generations pack for them to add a life cycle? Why don't they just put it in the game? Also, I get the people who are going to say, well, where are they going to get the budget to do all this stuff? They do updates and all that all the time. And The Sims themselves, the franchise, gets a lot of money off of people buying stuff. So, I don't know why EA doesn't give the Sims team a bigger budget. And people are going to say, oh, they probably do. I personally think they don't. Because it seems like ever since the Sims team has been getting a little more control over the situation, they've been doing more. And it seems like before, EA was kind of just saying, no, don't do that, don't do that. We need to get this done, and that done, and this done, and that done, pack by pack by pack by pack. But why should we have to get basic things in packs? I don't know. We've had new songs added in base game updates. Why can't we have new features added in base game updates? Or even in the kits? Why should we have to pay so much for a small feature? If we're gonna have something that's Generations, which, at this point, wouldn't really add very much to the game, why can't we have that as a stuff pack or a kit, instead of playing with a full expansion pack? Also, add another world! For God's sakes, we only have Newcrest as our free world. We can add another free world. I'm sorry, it's just like, a lot of the stuff that people are saying would be added in a Generations pack could easily be added in a base game update. Like, another thing is people want slow dancing to come back into the game, and more things with the elders. So, yeah, okay, I can see that being something that maybe the team needs to be paid a little more for, because it's adding new animations, new selections of things to do, overall just, doing more with the game. But I've seen them do stuff like this with the base game updates, so why should we have to pay for that? Improved babies totally should be a base game update thing. Like, the fact is we haven't had good babies since The Sims 2. And nope, not counting The Sims 3, the babies were just as bad in The Sims 3 as they are in The Sims 4. They're almost the same babies. Anyone who wants to dispute that, like, look at how they're born, look at how they're raised, everything. The only difference is in The Sims 3, you were able to use a stroller. That's it. You have either demon or burrito. That's your choice. And neither one of them are great. The Sims 2, I personally, I don't like having to compare games because I think they all had their own strengths and weaknesses, and all of them were good for what they were. But if we're going to go off the babies, The Sims 2 was the one who had the best babies. Like, for God's sakes, there were actual babies that you could shower, you could bathe them in the little sink, you can change their diapers, you can personally feed them. They were like actual little offsprings of you. Plus, they looked like you. Like, if you ever had a good look at their features, you could see what their eye color was going to be, what their hair color was going to be. It was just like, boom, phenomenal. Good job, Sims 2 team. And I don't know if it's the same team from the current team or what. I'm assuming over time they probably changed some people around. But, like, I'm just like, wow. Good babies. So why can't we have that in a base game update? Like, Generations, I feel, would be such a silly thing to be added to the game, especially since we have Parenthood as a pack. Why can't we have things that are just added to the game in the base game? We could have slow dancing in the base game, because we already have regular dancing in the game. So slow dancing could be added to dating. So, it's like, why are we going to do that? Like, so many things could easily be added into the base game. I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, they don't have the time, they don't have the money, they have to fix all the problems with the game already. But some of the issues with the game is the gameplay itself. And it's just like, I know, like, the other games weren't perfect. You couldn't customize the Sims in the prior games. You couldn't, like, overall do really well with the building and all that. But some things were good, some things weren't. And the best way to fix The Sims 4 is maybe continue to work on fixing the bugs, but also in maybe some of those things in each one of these updates, they could just start adding things that people want. Cars? I think I'm on the team that says we don't need cars. I mean, there's a lot of people who are saying we need the cars, but to be honest, it seems kind of silly in a game where all we do is teleport everywhere. What would make a difference between teleporting and just, like, taking a car just to have an animation that brings you to somewhere? I know somebody's probably going to be like, oh, we need it because we need activities for our teens. We could still have those activities, but not actually have cars. Like, we have rabbit holes for a reason. Like, I know some people want to actually do these things with their teens, but, I mean, if we're not going to have an open world, we might as well have something that's doable. So, like, instead of having, like, the cars themselves be a vehicle that we use all the time, we could kind of have them the way they were in The Sims 2, where you click onto it, and then they have some other function other than being cute and being a decoration in your home. Like, they activate some sort of rabbit hole type thing. So, I'm just saying, that would be not so bad, and we could still sort of have cars without having the whole open world concept thing. I know, like, a lot of people also want open world, and they think that, like, if we had, worked on that, that'd be great. But the thing is, like, in a game like this, I don't think open world works very well. Like, in The Sims 3, it definitely did not work well, and it didn't even add very much to the gameplay. Like, it was basically just, hey, look at me, I'm moving around, doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Does it add more to the gameplay? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, okay, yeah, you get to see a world. Like, I feel like the people who complain about this stuff don't actually think about the fact that will it really add anything to the gameplay. And I think, like, if this is all what is going to come with a Generations pack, why can't we have these things in base game? Just saying. Anyway, enough of my ranting. Like, comment, and subscribe for more spastastic content, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, goodbye. Mwah.